I'm Allison with FlickDirect, and I'm here with Cindy Morgan. We're talking about Caddyshack. Hello, how are you?
Hi, we're still talking about Caddyshack.
Tell me, why does this film endure almost 40 years later?
I have a lot of theories,
Oh, yeah.
but I can tell you the truth. A lot of it was ad-libbed.
Yes.
We were having the best time possible, and you can't fake that.
Right.
We really were having a very good time, and what a lucky first job it was for me to get dropped in with the four of the funniest men on the planet. So it was a wonderful experience. We really were having a good time. And there was that one point in time, right between where everything was very, very serious and then got really serious again, where there was that adolescent period of time where people just were a little naughty, and most of us got away with it. Not everybody, but most of us.
So what did you learn as this being your first job in the industry?
To fight and hold my ground. But to listen, because when you're working with someone as brilliant as Chevy or Billy or Harold, you listen. Only once did I say no.
Oh, and what was that?
That was for a darn good reason. That was when somebody threatened me that if I didn't do what they wanted, that they'd take away my paid ads and billing, and I'd say, go right ahead. I can run camera and sound and lighting. Ask your photographer, because I started out in broadcasting, and I said that was not in my contract. That is I'm going to say this I'm going to say it directly. I agreed to what looked like a nude scene, but was not. But that took a long meeting. And we explained that the demographic that we were aiming for was 18 to 25. Okay. And I understood. I said, okay, but that's it. The day before, I was called and said, we're sending Playboy. Now, very flattering, but I said, can't do it. I agreed to this, and I also was a film editor, and I knew on screen it would go by like that. And on the coffee table, that would be me. So I said, no, I can't do that. And John Peters said, you don't understand. I'm sending him anyway. I called my agent. I said, help me. And he said, honey, you're not a doe-eyed girl from the Midwest. Handle it. So I handled it and came back and fired him.
Wow. So
it was rough. I didn't work for a long time until Disney came calling, oddly enough.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. But you never stop production unless you're prepared to give up everything. So other than that. But you've been hearing all the stories in the last year.
I have, so it's really time.
True and more. And it hasn't stopped. It's still going on.
It's unfortunate, but hopefully we're bringing light to it now.
We're bringing light to it, but you have to know the price you pay for telling the truth. Not to get too serious. But back to Caddyshack. See, here's the thing. After that scene, the first scene was the fake dive. I can't dive. I can't swim. I have a fear of heights. I'm legally blind, so I had to climb that board blind because they were hard plastic lenses.
I remember that.
A doctor would be taking them out. So I had to walk that board blind so they could light me. And then the next scene was that scene.
Oh, okay.
And after that scene, they thought I was Lacey. And I went, you know what? This is going to come in handy. And the thing about Lacey was that it was shot in 1979. Women had just gotten the right to choose. So Lacey was doing what every guy had been doing all along. and the whole thing about the bra, we had just figuratively burned them. I mean, look at anything shot in 1979. Caddyshack is just the one that's on TV every 5 minutes.
Because it's such a great film.
And the thing is, I knew in 30 years, they'll get a still, but in 30 years I won't care.
Right, at 30 years, you're going to be like, look at how good I looked back then.
Still?
So tell me, what does it mean to be here in the film festival, closing it out? What a great setup they have. We're going to show you guys later.
It's breathtaking for somebody like me. Because could you imagine someone saying, you did something almost 40 years ago, and I'm still talking about it? Wouldn't you feel lucky?
Absolutely.
Just blown away, but okay, I'll be there. Yeah, it's amazing. I feel very, very lucky.
Well, I'm glad you do, and I have to say I personally love the film, so I'm glad that it has endured for so long.
Me too. It's a fine line when you do that kind of humor. You have to know how to walk right up to the edge of the cliff, but don't jump.
Yeah.
You just Be very careful with it.
And I can only imagine what ended up on the cutting room floor for them as well, with those guys improvising.
There are 1,700 behind-the-scenes images that I have copywritten.
Oh.
The storyboard is laid out, and I just need a lawyer to talk to a lawyer. That's all.
Ooh, that sounds
And
interesting.
Do I have any trouble telling stories? No. It was going to be a text-driven book. Now it's a coffee table book because I have photos of the 3-story fireball. I have photos of them mining the golf course with gasoline, pumping gas into the ground. And then there's one awesome photo of 300 extras running toward camera to get FaceTime. And there's one actor just standing there looking at the 3-story column of smoke. I looked really close. I said, "Who's that?" Me. I'm the only one who didn't give, can I say rat's ass?
Yes.
I didn't give a rat's ass about camera. I could feel the blast, and I'm going, they just blew up the golf course. And they said, "You're going to be here tomorrow." I said, "No, I'm not." They said, "You'll never see me." They said, "Yeah, we need you." I said, "All right. If I ever give you that, you know I'm not going to be there."
Well, thanks again for talking to us.
Oh my God, yes.
It's wonderful.
Absolutely.
I can't wait for this coffee table book, by the way. I think it's going to be incredible.
Neither can I. There's just one little key to one little lock that I got to open, and it'll come exploding out. It's ready to go.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
You too, hon.